Yeah, I've been in real estate now for 21, nearly 22 years in the Perth market in Western Australia. In fact, my father was in real estate, so I'm from a real estate background. But I've been heading up Real Mark Urban now for a few years, and we've had quite a few changes in that time. In fact, Real Mark Urban's a relatively young business within the scheme of Real Mark. Real Mark's been around for around 32 years in the WA market, and is very well known. And Real Mark Urban is a business that started just a few years ago, and so probably the existing team that we've got right now is probably only 2 years in the making. So we're up to around 20 sales staff now, and that includes a couple of sales assistants, and we've got about 5 support staff, including myself. Yeah, there's probably a few more than the 3. I guess from a bigger picture perspective, the great thing about RESO is that it helps our agents in the field become more time effective. As an agency, it actually helps us with our set date sale process. It links in beautifully because in relation to fielding offers and having a set date to invite buyers into the process, we can actually encourage more offers in a friendly manner. And the ranking aspect of RESO helps us create that competition in a very transparent manner. So from an agency perspective, it ticks the box. From a buyer's perspective, it's very transparent, and it's a really user-friendly way of people inviting more buyers into the sale. And I guess from a third perspective, from the seller's perspective, it's been a great listing tool, obviously, but they really understand the value of the ranking and how it helps us get the best price for them as well. So once that's explained and demonstrated, they really get it, and they really latch onto it, and they go, oh, that's really interesting. And it's different from other, I guess, online methods of sale as well. Buyers make offers at what they perceive value rather than chasing the bottom price in some of the online auctions. So we really love that from those 3 perspectives: the seller's perspective, the buyer's perspective, and the agency perspective. So one of the biggest challenges for us as real estate agents is not doing what every other real estate agent, or most agents do out there, is trying to sell a property really quickly. Because we know that if we slow the process down for the sellers, we end up inviting more buyers into the sale, and RESO allows us to do that in a really friendly manner. So by sending the offer link, the RESO link to buyers, and giving the end date, which is our set date sale day, it allows us to create more buyers for the sale, which creates more competition, which gets us the best price. So I guess one of the biggest challenges that for us is dealing with the amount of buyers out there so that we can actually get the best price, and RESO works beautifully for our set date sale process that we adopt at Real Mark. It's gone really well, actually. As dealing with established agents, they tend to have a certain set way that they operate, and so I've tended to focus on maybe some more of the younger guys that have come through and have come on board, and we've tried to, I guess, work with them in relation to RESO to get them as early adopters and get the successes there to be able to demonstrate to the rest of the team, especially some of the more established agents, so that they could see the results there. Now we've pretty much got everybody on board in relation to using RESO with our set date sale method. Early on, when we first started, we had to work out what the dialogue was, and we realised very quickly that there has to be a positive spin on everything, because it is a really positive experience for buyers once you position it that way. So for a buyer, obviously, it's a really easy way for them to get them actively involved in a sale. The best thing for a buyer is that it allows them to make an offer within the comfort of their own home, within literally 5 to 7 minutes. Rather than being stuck with a real estate agent in a room for maybe half an hour writing up a serious offer, we do treat obviously all the bids very seriously, but it allows them to make an offer at a price level where they feel comfortable on terms that they feel comfortable. And so our perspective is, how do we get more buyers involved into the process? Because the ranking function will create the competition, especially if you've got a good agent backing that up with good dialogue on the phone, face-to-face negotiating. It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, like I say earlier, it was the missing piece for our set date sale process. Obviously with DocuSign, everything like that, it's really on the document section. It stores the documents when they log in and make an offer. They can see all of the documents there. Obviously with DocuSign and real forms, we can just send a contract across into RESO, and so we can send an offer out really quickly within 5-10 minutes of receiving an offer on the property. So it's just and when we're writing, I had 24 offers on a property in Maylands when I was working with Adam Gizzo on that one, and for us to manage that volume of offers would have been relatively impossible without something like RESO linked in with DocuSign. So yeah, really, really easy process for the buyers, really easy for the agent as well. It just makes the whole negotiations really quite simple and seamless. Yeah, I think, look, once we, it's always hard to know how many times you're going to rank. We don't have a set time, a set amount of times. I think it really does depend on the offers that come in, the volume of offers, because it might be that you rank once, but it could be that you rank a few times or 4 or 5 times, because if you get late offers coming to the fold, then buyers really do want to know or have the opportunity to make their very best offer. And if somebody's coming late in the process, then we also let them know when they make an offer that we could end up ranking it once, it could be 2 or 3 times, but it'll be in their interests for us to rank, because at least then they'll know where they're positioned. But then we'll communicate with the buyers to make sure that they know that exactly, the very final time that we're going to rank the offer. So I think it's really about communication with buyers and just being really open around that, and they really appreciate it. So we've actually had buyers that walk away from the sale process and give us reviews off the back of the fact that, hey, look, we missed out, but you guys were one of the only agencies that have given us every opportunity to make a best offer, whereas some agents that are still working with paper, and the buyers are calling back and saying, well, look, I would have improved my offer more. With the way that we run RESO, they never miss out, or at least they never miss out on that opportunity, which is a real positive thing. I think if you've got one offer or 2 offers, you could go one of both ways, but I think if you've got multiple offers there, we never know what the first buyer is going to do. We never know what the second or third buyer. We can make some assumptions there, but I think, and you've got to be strategic around it as well for your sellers. But I think if you've got more than a couple of buyers there and you've got one offer that's the highest offer, that's where the agent's dialogue really comes in, because how do you know that the second and third, well, how do you know the third's not going to leapfrog the first? And putting that kind of, I guess, without putting too much pressure on the first buyer, the buyer's going to either make it his best and final or her best and final, or they're going to improve it because they're not going to want to miss out on it. And the reality is if that's the final time that you've ranked, they may not have another opportunity and they may miss out on it. So is this your absolute best offer, Mr. First Place? And if it's not, you might want to make it your best offer, because numbers 2 and 3 may end up sort of beating you to the chase. Yeah, it's fantastic because you get to see everything in one dashboard on one screen. So all of the offers are all there, all the offer history is there. So from a management perspective, it's really easy to be able to then communicate with the buyers off that one screen. Top 3, ranking. I guess for me, it's I look at where's the value for the seller. So, we're all, without talking too much about rule mark, but our vision statement is to achieve the best we care the most. So for us, it's a big care factor around how can we get the very best price. And so that ranking feature, I've barked on about it numerous times, but for me, that is the gold, and it allows us to get the very best price. Obviously backed up with good dialogue and communications as well. And obviously being able to link in with the technology, I think sending the offer link as well is fantastic. So, I think this is what the real game changer, being able to invite buyers into a sale in a digital format, whereas previously there wasn't anything available. And so, as a buyer, you're feeling like you're taking part in something, you've got ownership of something as well. So it's not all about the agent anymore. I use it probably more than anyone, and part of our training here at Real Mark is that we talk a lot about how we can use that as part of our set date sale process to demonstrate, without showing obviously privacy, details of buyers and things like that, but basically having a demonstration of how it works and how it works in the interest of the seller. And once they understand what that is, then obviously they see the value. Well, to be honest with you, Rachel, I don't want anyone else to use it because we use it and we're quite happy us using it, and just a few other agents. But look, I think regardless of what kind of method of sale that you're using and what processes you're using, RESO can be implemented into any kind of system that you're using right now. Obviously, we use like a set date sale, which is like an expression of interest campaign that works really well for us. But if you're using a private treaty system, it can be used in exactly the same way. And I think, again, for us, it was that missing piece, that technology piece. Yeah, I just would love to say that Rachel has been absolutely fantastic. Communications, one of my things that I look out for most, especially with real estate agents, is how responsive are they in communications. And if I send an email or a message to Rachel, bang, straight back to me. And so it's always happy, friendly. It's always about how can we make RESO more user-friendly, a better experience for our clients. And I think it's been great working with you, Rachel. And obviously Gemma's on board now in WA, and I've known Gemma for a long time. She's fantastic. So I think just got a really bubbly, friendly team across there at RESO. And I think we've helped, adopt it for a WA-based market as well. And so there's been ideas exchanged in that regard between RESO and Realmark. So we've helped sort of with that as well. And it's been a really great process. Thanks, Rachel.